Our next story brings us up close and personal with three up-and-coming names in Hollywood. Robert Goffin of Goffin Productions, along with his lead actress and director of photography, took some time to field some of Teen Extreme's questions. Cyrus Hydry has the story.
Thanks, Chrissy. I recently spent an afternoon with the next generation of Hollywood. I have a few questions for you guys. Robert, what's your advice for kids who are interested in going into the film industry?
Just take your video cameras, work with your friends, get a feel for the camera, write your script, which is not that difficult to do. If you have any writing talent, which most people do, just write your script and, you know, just start. I always look at films and television shows, looking for the microphones in the shots and everything like that. And it's fun to point out their mistakes, and so that it'll help me with my production, so I know not to make the same mistakes.
What skills do you need to become a director of photography?
See, it's almost like I have to see the finished product of the movie before we even start the film. I have to actually visualize it in my head, like a real movie. Robert tells me how he wants the movie, the theme of the movie to be, and I want to try to shoot it in a way that supports the theme. So I'm just supposed to make every single shot support the theme of the movie.
You call yourself a silent director. Can you please explain that?
I have to say that, yes, I am a silent, because I will, if you ever see me in action on a set, I will yell.
Guys, you guys are going to be yelling and all that mumbo-jumbo stuff.
I will yell, I will scream.
Can you move that umbrella?
I will throw stuff, I will come over there, take the script, rip it up and say, add this. Anything I think would make it look better, I'll do it.
Kristen, what advice would you give to someone watching Teen Extreme who's interested in going to the film industry?
You gotta go out there, you gotta get the work. It just doesn't come when you sit there. And you also have to be motivated, because if you don't take the time to practice your monologues or memorize your lines, if you don't care about the acting, it's not gonna come.
Robert, tell me, how much time are you spending on this project?
And I stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, just working on scripts or locations that we're going to be shooting at. And of course I have to learn how to balance that and school and church and everything else at the same time. Independent filmmakers can take a lot of risks and do a lot of things that Hollywood can't do. I just take it day by day.
Have a look at a clip from Robert's latest movie.
The Cascade students are very serious with this on and off again rain. They're out here protesting the death of Mr. Manning, their favorite teacher. Is it the responsibility of cigarette companies to give the facts, or is it the responsibility of children to read up and find the facts? Let us know.
Money is good, but don't always look for it. Look for experience. I think that's really more important. A lot of people think I'm crazy for that, but that's what I believe.
Well, with a little hard work and ambition, and we all could be going to Hollywood.
You're watching News 10 Today.
This week, the Philadelphia mayor's race welcomed yet another candidate as Democrat Marty Weinberg announced his candidacy.
In this week's Students' Voices, Leila Neri and Ryan Thomas tell us what their peers say are the big issues the candidates need to face. Leila, Ryan, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, John. Thank you, Yuzi.
Now, as you know, our goal is to basically bring to the table some very important issues and to basically increase the voterships between ages 18 and 24.
To see what's important to young voters, we decided to interview some of our fellow classmates from our high school, Philadelphia's Creative and Performing Arts. Let's see what they had to say.
I think the most serious problem that we're facing today is guns. Children being able to get guns like so easily off the street.
Are there any other concerns?
As of March 4th, welfare will not be in effect anymore. They're cutting welfare, and I really have a problem with it because there's not enough jobs out here for everybody. So that's what I think the biggest problem is in Philadelphia.
A lot of people are saying that it's kind of ridiculous, the new law that they have about the homelessness, saying that it's like a crime to be homeless, and they're arresting the homeless people that they find on the streets. And if these people had a place to go, they wouldn't be homeless. I mean, if you're going to be arresting homeless people, give them a place to go.
Some of the problems would be education, crime, drugs, homelessness, teen pregnancies.
What are one of the most important issues that concern you today in our community?
Right now, it's the drugs that are in my neighborhood that are I'm really worried about.
The most serious problem in the area I live in, which is Overbrook Park, seems to be the safety of its residents. There's been numerous robberies. In fact, relatives of mine have been robbed just walking home from work at night.
They're building 2 new stadiums, and meanwhile, all the schools in Philly are, like, falling apart for the most part.
And what do you think the mayor might be able to do to try to put an end to these problems? I think that first he would have to live in Philly, like, to know what the problem is, you have to, you know, be inside the problem.
You know, they don't live here, they don't go to school here, you know, they don't have to walk home and take the L and all that stuff that we have to do. So I think that if someone lived here, I think, like Joanna said, it would be way better.
I think that the mayor could talk to young people, find out what the problems are, if they're having any problems, create more after-school programs, give more money for after-school programs. You know, if you give people an opportunity, especially young people, an opportunity to do something and occupy their time, I'm sure that they're going to take full advantage of it. And if they're learning at the same time, well, that's just a double plus, you know. The mayor can create programs like this, and it only benefits the city because the education that they get from these programs, they stay here in the city, and then they give back to the city, and it only helps us as an environment, you know, when programs like this are generated.
Well, I hope all you candidates out there are watching, because we'll be asking you questions on these same issues.
And next week on the show, we will have Republican candidate Sam Katz. Now, I heard that he's basically for school vouchers. Now, school vouchers is when a student gets about $1,000 put towards a school of their choice. Now, that's a very important topic to talk about next week.
And for another little piece of information, Sam Katz attended Philadelphia's Central High School, where
he played basketball. Now, to show how competitive he is, he continued to play basketball while having a leg injury.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
Ryan
you very
Wheeler,
much
thank
for
you
that.
very much for today's report.
A classmate of yours.
He was the class ahead of me.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Cold.
he's older.
Cold.
Yes. All right, yes, it's cold. It's going to stay cold. It's actually going to get colder over the next couple of days. Temperatures getting into the low 40s today, holding in the 30s tomorrow. And
9:53. This morning in our Student Voices segment, our students plan to ask mayoral candidate John Street some tough questions.
But around 8:30 last night, Street's campaign called News 10 to cancel his appearance. His campaign spokesperson said Street goes to church every Saturday morning and that his office never should have agreed to today's appearance, which was scheduled about a month ago.
But this morning, John Street called News 10 to answer two of the questions from the students. Leila Neri and Ryan Thomas tell us what he said.
Good morning.
Thank you. I asked John Street this question. Under Ed Rendell, Center City developed into a place to draw an evening crowd, and South Broad Street grew as the Avenue of the Arts. How do you plan to improve other areas of the cities, like North Broad Street?
Well, Ryan, as you are probably aware, the Avenue of the Arts is on both South Broad Street and North Broad Street, and the fact of the matter is we have spent a lot of time working on projects like the Freedom Theater and a number of other activities on North Broad Street. We have a streetscape program, and, you know, we are committed to the idea that we have to do in neighborhoods the same kind of things that we're doing in Center City. As you are probably aware, if you've been paying any attention to this at all, and I'm sure you have, a major part of my platform for mayor involves taking what we refer to as the benefits and the progress that we've made in Center City and moving it out into the neighborhoods. One of the things we do is we have these special financing mechanisms that we do whereby we take taxes that are going to be generated by economic development projects, and we plow those taxes right back into the project to help things happen, and we've done that in Center City. But we're now doing that in neighborhoods. In my district, or my former district, the 5th District, we've actually done it in about 3 areas in neighborhood business strips.
We thank you, Mr. Street, for talking to us. A reminder for all of you out there, the Philadelphia Mayoral Forum is tonight at 7 right here on NBC 10. I'm one of the people who will be questioning the candidates. Again, that's tonight at 7, live here on NBC 10.
See you down there, too. One quick check on the weather forecast. We'll let Eric finish.
Well, we have cloudy skies now. The precipitation is moving in. It will be moving in during the morning hours.
You're watching News 10 Today.
Almost 9:52. Our special Student Voices segment continues this Saturday morning. It's time we've dedicated to letting some of our voters-to-be question the candidates for mayor. And today, Democrat John White Jr. meets face-to-face with our Student Voices panel.
Danielle Manley, Amber Battle, and Ryan Thomas join us to question the candidates. Take it away, guys.
Good morning. Okay, in the future, I would like to have some type of film industry. Yet I read that citizens and businesses are leaving Philadelphia because they claim that there are high tax levels. And basically they're moving into the suburban areas. So how do you plan to bring people back to the city and make the tax level more comfortable for me and my peers in the future?
I think it's very, very important that we continue to reduce taxes, particularly our city wage tax and our business taxes. And it's also important that we give you the kinds of public schools that make a difference, where you want your families to live and to raise your children and to have them educated. The other aspect of this is jobs, and that is to make sure that we become a much more small business-friendly city, where we provide the kinds of tax incentives, zones of opportunity, if you would, where small and mid-sized businesses will want to locate and where their employees are going to want to live.
Good morning, Mr. White.
Good morning.
Mayor Lindell is in favor of using riverboat gambling to fund Philadelphia schools. What is your plan on funding our schools?
I'm opposed to riverboat gambling. I think our public school system is far too important for it to just become the playground for the rich and famous. What we've got to do is meet our obligation, our commitment to making sure that the young people in the city of Philadelphia get every opportunity to have a quality education. I think it starts with making sure that we're spending our money wisely. And I want a budget for our school district that starts first in the classroom and focuses on instruction. Secondly, I want to maximize all of the opportunities that are available to us through federal grants that allow us to reduce class size, to expand after-school programs, and really offer vocational and work-study programs to our high school students as well.
Okay, we are aware of the false accusations on the internet. However, there was a quote stated in the newspaper Al Dia, which read, "The blacks and the browns, if we unite, we're going to control the city." Some have taken this to an offense. We would like to give you an opportunity to explain what you really meant.
During the course of the interview, what we were talking about were the common problems that exist between the Hispanic and the African American communities. No one will dispute the fact that we are disproportionately represented amongst the unemployed, among people who are on public assistance, among those who are dropping out of school. And the reference was to our getting involved in our politics and in voting and participating in such a way that we elect people who are going to focus more of their attention on resolving those problems. And to the extent that those individuals find the common ground, the common denominators, we can then come together and post solutions that improve the quality of life for our city and make Philadelphia not just a great place to visit, but a great place to live. Where Ryan wants to start his film company, where people will want to come to live, where people will want to come to work, where Danielle doesn't have to worry about the adequacy of the funding of our public school system. But that only happens when people recognize that we have common problems and we need to focus on common solutions. That is the point that I was trying to make. That is the point, and that's the type of campaign, the types of issues that I've been talking about all over this city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. White, thank you so much, and good luck in your campaign.
And back to you, John and Easy.
We have to thank Democrat John White for taking time from the campaign trail to come out and answer questions not only from the pros but from the kids, and got a very hectic schedule ahead before the cutoff date for registering for mayor, and that's March 24th.
Yeah,
But
thanks
it's on
to
to
the
primary.
students as well. They're doing a very good job.
Okay, we got a big thing coming tomorrow. It's called bad weather.
Yeah, and it's called Ernie. We got a winter storm.
To Democratic mayoral candidate Happy Fernandez. Over to you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Yuzi. Good morning, Ms. Fernandez.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Thank you. I guess our first question would have to be, as mayor, what's some things that you would do to try to make Philadelphia public school education equal to that of suburban schools?
Well, one of the issues would be to continue to press the state to properly fund our Philadelphia public schools. But other things I will do as mayor, first I want it very clear that I want to be responsible and accountable. So I want a charter change that would give me the authority to appoint all members of the school board as soon as I come in office, and in turn make it clear that we together hire and fire the superintendent and set the direction and policy of the school district. But my major focus then in the school district will be to focus on local schools and classrooms, because I know that's where students learn. Teachers need to be teaching and students learning, and all of our focus needs to be there instead of any adult power games. One other major thing I'll do is to continue the focus on setting high expectations, making sure high standards are set, high standards are met, and then when they're not, for students who don't make grade level, to bring back summer school for all children to help them get on track and stay on track. And I think we need to end social promotion. One other thing I want to do to help young people get that extra they need to succeed in school is to have after-school programs from 3 to 5 every day after school in every neighborhood of the city, so young people have a positive place to be. They can do homework, play sports, arts and crafts, maybe extra computer time, so that they have positive things to do, which will, again, help them achieve in school, and equally important, keep them out of trouble and vandalism, because we know the prime time for juvenile crime is 3 to 6 in the afternoon. So I want to have our young people safe and involved in positive activities.
Okay, you say as mayor, main focuses should be toward strengthening our neighborhoods and making our streets safer. As mayor, specifically, what would you do to make that happen?
In terms of safety and reducing crime in the city, what I already mentioned about after-school programs is a good place to start, keeping our young people from getting into crime and vandalism and trouble. But along with that, having more of our police officers out visible in the community on foot patrols and bike patrols, so they can not only apprehend people who are involved in crime, but even more important, be preventing crime before it even gets started by having very close, good working relationships with the citizens in our neighborhoods. And then another part of my focus on reducing crime and safety, most of the violence and deaths and really violent crimes comes from the drug business. So our police need to work with federal authorities to very aggressively go after not just the little pushers on the street, but go after the drug business leaders, the CEOs, the kingpins, and work with the federal authorities to break the backs of those drug businesses that are spawning so much violence in our neighborhoods.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. And back to you, Yuzi and John.
Thank you very much.
We're going to thank Philadelphia Democratic mayoral candidate Happy Fernandez. There'll be other candidates coming in the weeks to come.
And the kids as well.
Spring, nice weather?
Yes, a beautiful day today.
You're watching News 10 Today.
You know, for the past few months, our Student Voices panel has been telling us about the upcoming Philadelphia mayor's race, but what about the man still holding that position?
Yeah, our team panel is at City Hall this morning in the mayor's office to talk to Mayor Ed Rendell. So, okay, kids, take it away. It's all yours.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor Rendell. What is one of the hardest tasks you've had to face as mayor?
Well, the hardest task was at the beginning, the first 2 or 3 years when we were deep in debt and facing a $1.4 billion deficit. I had to say no to a lot of worthwhile organizations. The Friends of the Park would come in and say, we need more money. The Free Library Board would come in and say, we need more money. All these different groups, we need more money for after school, etc. And they were all right. But we were in a huge deficit situation. And I think one of the key things that any mayor has to learn how to do is to say no. You know, that's not within our human nature. We like to say yes. We like to please people. But if you're going to keep the city in good financial condition and keep it in the posture that it can grow, there are times when you're going to have to say no to worthwhile causes.
Mr. Mayor, you will definitely be remembered as one of the key pushers of the Avenue of the Arts. However, do you have any regrets and advice to give to the next mayor candidate?
Well, regrets, I only have one. That I didn't, and coming from my background, I was district attorney and I've been an assistant DA for so many years. I should have understood that the way Philadelphia, as well as many cities in America, was deploying their police was wrong. We ran our police just responsive to the 911 system. Every officer out on patrol just responded to 911. Well, you know what happens when they go to a 911 call, the crime's over. We weren't preventing crime, we were just reporting it and investigating it. It took almost 5.5, 6 years until I brought John Timoney down from New York, and he's changed it from a reactive police force to a proactive police force that sees where crime is occurring, goes into that area, and tries to stop it before it occurs. So that's my biggest regret. What was the other part of the question?
Do you have What advice do you have for the next mayor?
Advice is be mayor and govern as if you're going to be a one-term mayor. If you worry about pleasing people, doing the popular thing, not getting yourself in trouble, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to make the changes necessary to keep this city moving forward. Don't be scared of losing for re-election. Get in there. You worked awfully hard to get here. Do the things you believe in. You know, there's a great saying, behold the turtle who only makes progress when he sticks his neck out. And that's my advice for the next mayor. Don't be afraid to do things you believe in, even if there's a political risk involved to you.
Okay, well, you've been in office for 8 years, so
Not
now...
great. 7 1/3.
All right, well, 7 1/3. Well, since it's almost over, what do you plan on doing?
Well, first, I've got 8 months as mayor, and I intend to use every day of those 8 months to continue doing things for the city, whether it's economic development projects that have to be completed before I'm done, whether it's trying to get our welfare to work situation in better shape. So I intend to use every day of those 8 months productively. There's no lame duck here. I don't believe in it. The voters elected me to serve for 8 years, not for 7 1/4 or whatever. But what do I intend to do? I don't know. First, I'm going to take a little rest because I've worked pretty hard these last 7 1/3 years. And then I know that I'm going to stay active in a number of things that are important to the city. Our convention, I'm head of our convention organization. I'm head of the Constitution Center. I'm head of the Millennium celebration we're having. I'm head of Historic Philadelphia, Inc. So all those organizations, I'm going to find a way to continue to contribute.
Okay. And I guess just on behalf of the Avenue of the Arts and CAFA specifically, we'd like to thank you in your way.
Yes, thank you. Are you all CAFA students?
Yes.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Some people say, oh, the Avenue of the Arts is an elitist project. Well, I say to them, Arts Bank, Brandywine Graphic Arts Center, CAPA, those aren't, you know, white people from the suburbs. Those are ordinary Philadelphians benefiting from the Avenue of the Arts. It's something we can all be proud of.
Right. We're drawing to the close, so we'd just like to thank you.
Well, thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks for being part of this project.
Back to me.
And
All right, thank you.
We
Good
have
job.
to thank Mayor Edwin Dell for taking time out from his busy schedule
He'll
to
always
meet
be
with our
mayor.
students. That does it for this edition of News 10. I'm John Blunt.
And I'm Yuzi Brown, Washington, for Glenn Hurricane Shorts and all of us. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day.
You're watching News 10 Today.
9:52 on your Saturday morning. For this morning's Students' Voices segment, our kids hit the road.
Yeah, they're at the Philadelphia Art Museum with a voter registration booth set up for anyone to come and register. Terrell McCrae is live to tell us what's going on there. Good morning to you, Terrell.
Good morning, John and Yuzi. We're live here at the Art Museum, and lately we've been in the studio interviewing all the mayoral candidates, but today we're out here at the Art Museum at the Stop on Holden Wall, and we're registering people to vote. You know that the lowest voter registration group is between the ages of 18 and 24. So those are the age groups that we're really trying to target, but everybody's welcome to vote. So right now we're just out here, we're just registering people that want to vote. And Brian has a PSA that he did for our voters registration project, and Brian's going to tell you a little bit about our project. Just a little. I've been registered to vote for
Hey, you guys. If you're 18, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So if you're 18, what are you waiting for?
Thank you. That was Brian's PSA. Now we're going to have Leland. She's going to tell us a little bit about the process and how you get registered to vote.
Okay, the only requirement needed to register is you must be 18 years or older, and you must be a Pennsylvania resident. All you need to do, it's simple. You fill out your name, address, and sign a sworn affidavit. No more than 30 days later, you should be registered.
Then, after 2 weeks of your registration card to return to you, it will specify your ward and division. That is where you can do two things. One, you can call the Board of Elections at 686-1523. That's area code 215. Again, 686-1523. Or you can the day before elections, look in the Philadelphia Daily News or the Philadelphia Inquirer, and there will be a list of wards and divisions in your specific location that you can look at.
All right. We hope you guys out there have been enjoying our Student Voices segment thus far. We've had a lot of fun doing it, and next week we'll have Marty Weinberg on. He'll be live in the studio, and Leila and Danielle and Amber will be in the studio, and they'll be talking to Marty Weinberg. He was out here at the walk earlier, and he talked to some of us here, and we look forward to talking to him next week in the studio.
Yeah.
John and Yuzi, you have any questions for us out here?
Yeah, what kind of a reaction are you getting out there?
We seem to be getting a pretty good turnout. We've had people come out all day, and they've been filling out voters registration cards, and we've gotten a pretty good turnout. So we're really happy and pleased about that. We have some other kids from our high school out here.
Can anybody vote for any candidate in this primary?
Actually, Danielle, you want to answer that question?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Could you vote for just any person?
No. Actually, you have to vote for someone in your respected, thing. Your respected party. If you're a Democrat, you need to vote for Democrat. If you're a Republican, you need to vote for Republican.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Good job on the PSA, too, by the way.
Thank you.
You guys getting too creative.
Look at, I tell you, they got good weather for this. Will it continue, though? That's the big question.
No, it is the big question. For today, at least, it's going to be a beautiful day. We're looking at temperatures rising into the 50s, but it's going to be windy. That will make it feel a little cooler. Enjoy the day. Our 5-day says, for today, 58, clearing.
Can I remarry after I've been divorced?
How do I avoid peer pressure?
Why do bad things happen to good people? What's the real meaning of love?
So, does God really exist?
What's the whole truth?
The truth.
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 Truth. Truth.
Hi, I'm Eric Lambert, pastor of Bethel Deliverance Church.
And I'm Clement Lupton, pastor of the beloved St. John Evangelistic Church, and we want to invite you to tune in to The Whole Truth.
The Whole Truth is a weekly talk show. It's a live call-in show where you share with us your concerns and we share with you the truth of God's Word.
We'll discuss current events. We'll discuss marriage, divorce, remarriage, issues that are pertinent to your life, even the will of God concerning you.
So join us, share with us as we bring you the truth of God's Word. And remember, Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free.
Tune in to The Whole Truth, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on WTEL 860 AM.
Ready? Okay. Thanks, Christy. I recently spent an afternoon with the next generation of Hollywood. I have a few questions for you guys. Robert, what's your advice for kids who are interested in going to the film industry?
Just take your video camera, work with your friends, get a feel for the camera, write your script, which is not that difficult to do. If you have any writing talent, which most people do, just write your script and, just start. I always look at films and television shows looking for the microphones and the shots and everything like that. And it's fun to point out their mistakes and so that it'll help me with my productions, so I know not to make the same mistakes.
What skills do you need to become a director of photography?
See, it's almost like I have to see the finished product of the movie before we even start film. I have to actually visualize it in my head, like a real movie. Robert tells me how he wants the theme of the movie to be, and I want to try to shoot it in a way that supports this theme. So I'm just supposed to make every single shot support the theme of the movie.
You call yourself a time director. Can you please explain that?
I have to say that, yes, I am a tyrant because I will, if you ever see me in action on my set, I will yell. Guys, you guys are going to be yelling and all that mumbo-jumbo stuff. I will yell, I will scream. Can you move that umbrella? I will throw stuff, I will come over there, take your script, rip it up and say, ad-lib. Anything I think would make it look better, I'll do it.
Christian, what advice would you give to someone watching Teen Extreme who's interested in going to the film industry?
You got to go out there. You got to get to work. It just doesn't come when you sit there. And you also have to be motivated, because if you don't take the time to practice your monologues or memorize your lines, if you don't care about the acting, it's not going to come.
Robert, tell me, how much time are you spending on this project?
And I stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, just working on scripts or locations that we're going to be shooting at. And of course I have to learn how to balance that in school and church and everything else at the same time. Independent filmmakers can take a lot of risks and do a lot of things that Hollywood can't do. I just take it day by day.
Have a look at a clip from Robert's latest movie.
The Cascade students are very serious with this on and off again rain. They're out here protesting the death of Mr. Manning, their favorite teacher. Is it the responsibility of cigarette companies to give the facts, or is it the responsibility of children to read up and find the facts? Let us know.
Money is good, but don't always look for it. Look for experience. I think that's really more important. A lot of people think I'm crazy for that, but that's what I believe.